Hi, folks. I'm Ron Rosenstock. I'm a photographer, a teacher of photography, and I lead international photo tours, for Strabo International. And I want to tell you a little bit about my trip to Scotland, which is one of my favorites. And basically, it's very easy to get there. I often go on Icelandair, fly into to Reykjavik, and then over to Glasgow. And we're met in Glasgow by our guide Sam, and then we drive up. Our first stop is around Loch Lomond, in the town of Ness. Now, sorry, Luss, Luss. And I'm about to show you a few photos. Hold on, screen share. Takes a second to push all the right buttons to get this done just right. And we're almost there. And one more button to push. And we're in business. Okay, here we are in Luss, a charming little village in the Highlands just north of Glasgow. And it's also right on the shores of Loch Lomond, where there's some beautiful paths that go out to the lake and a lovely little town right on the lake. And I always enjoy photographing just around the church. And then we drive up to Glencoe. And we stay in a wonderful lodge there that's right on the River Coe. So I often, not only me, but the group, we often get up early and walk along the river, to photograph the flowing water against the mountains. And I've done it, I guess this might be my fifth or sixth trip coming up. And I never get tired of it. It's so beautiful, and then we go to this wonderful particular valley, and photograph these absolutely incredible waterfalls and patterns of the water here. The Etive Valley, Glen Etive it's called, and this is the river Etive. This I know looks like a sort of sunshine coming through the clouds, but in fact it's a rain shower coming right towards us. So I made this exposure and it passed very quickly, and then we had fabulous clouds right after it passed. And speaking of lighting situations, you just never know. When you get a brief shower, you generally get a beautiful rainbow. And this is very typical of the kind of rainbows that we get in Scotland. And then at Loch Leven, one of my favorite places, just a great place, on a calm day to get beautiful reflections. And then when we next go to the Isle of Skye, and this is one of my favorite places, the Quorang it's called. Just very mountainous and rugged, although there's an easy path from the area where we park, and you walk up maybe 10 minutes and you just get fabulous views of the distant mountains. This is one of my favorites, of this little tree kind of hanging onto the side of a cliff here. This is also up in the Quorang of the Isle of Skye, and right near another famous stone called the Old Man of Storr. And this is probably a quarter of a second exposure of this wonderful waterfall. Then the beaches. Wow, we hit about 3 or 4 different beautiful beaches. Luscontyre is one of my favorite beaches there on the Isle of Harris and Lewis. And then there's Eilean Dunan Castle that is right near the Isle of Skye, just over the bridge. What a beautiful place this is. Whether you're shooting color, black and white, or infrared, makes no difference. You really can't go wrong. I've done it with all 3, color, black and white, and infrared. And they're always very different and just very beautiful. And here was a twilight when it's lit up with that lovely kind of orangey color. So just a little bit more of the beaches and this beautiful, reflections of the clouds, where the tide goes out and leaves these little rivulets. This is another one of my favorites from Luscontyre Beach. This is a museum that we visit, a black house, which is where crofters lived, the people who worked the land. And as you see, there's a fire on the floor, basically. It's a dirt floor, and they have a turf fire. So the smoke from the peat sort of fills up the house, and that's the warmth, the only heat comes from this fire, but it's also filled with smoke. But that's how people lived for a long, long time. And this is by one of the open windows. So you see when the light comes in, how it creates the sort of the mist there. And oh, the stones of Callanish, some of my favorite sort of stone monuments in the world. This was a sunset that we had. I had to shoot it in color. Just really fabulous. And here's one I did in infrared when we had also a lovely, lovely sunset. And then I finished off in color here with a great cloud formation. Well, this is the trip. It's September 24th to October 5th, 2021. There's still openings. You know, that's 13 months away, so there's plenty of time, and it should be totally safe to travel by then. So I really hope that you can take advantage of this and come along on this particular trip. This is the, if you want to get a free brochure, just call that number, 607-756-8676. And you can check out the itinerary and the prices and everything else on www.phototc.com. Now I'm going to go off screen share. Stop sharing. Okay, I'm back. This trip also includes most of the meals. You know, when you do some shopping around for different tours and you see a price, find out what it covers. The Scotland trip covers all breakfasts and most lunches and dinners. There are a few we pay for on our own, but mostly it's paid for, you know, by the tour. Okay, well, folks, thanks so much for watching this, and I hope to see you in Scotland or some other place in the world. Bye-bye.